the biggest thing that was the hardest for me is getting over my self-limiting beliefs
Mhm.
in the beginning. Like that was step one for me. When I started to sort of say, no, like this feels insane that I want to do this, but like I want to do this. And my curiosity is pulling me. And when my curiosity really is piqued and I feel scared and terrified, I usually know that that is the thing I need to go after.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Hello. Hi, Be It Babe. Welcome to the podcast. Oh my God. This is so fun because you're about to hear two women who've never met, but totally love each other already. Just connect and share stories. And our guest today is Sarah Rhoads of Commbi Shoes. And like one of the things I love about this podcast is I get to meet some really insanely amazing people and also like hopefully start wonderful relationships. But at any rate, I really was excited to share her story with you because I do think it's what you need right now. You need to hear a story about someone who's not a shoe manufacturer making the most amazing shoes. You need to hear about a woman who had a very, very successful career pivot to doing something she's never done before. And you need to hear that, you can do all these things while being a wife and a mother and be authentic to yourself and do the things that light you up. So I'm super excited for this episode. So I'm going to let you get right into it. Thank you, Sarah Rhoads, for being here. And here she is. Okay, Be It Babe. I'm going to tell you right now that like today's guest and I aren't best friends yet, but I hope in the future we are because I already love her so much. I've been following for a while. I will say probably our first guest that I like got me by an ad. So, but our audience knows that I'm someone who's like, I'm going to click on that ad. I love being cookied. I love when ads follow me around and remind me of the things that I want to have. And so today's guest is the founder of Commbi Shoes and it's Sarah Rhoads. Oh my gosh. Hello. Welcome to the Be It Pod. Can you tell everyone like who you are and what you rock at, just in case they haven't, but they didn't find you through Instagram like me?
Well, first off, I'm so happy to be here, Lesley, and thanks so much for having me. You just have such a great energy, and I love other women that are doing great stuff. So, I am a photographer turned entrepreneur. And as Lesley said, I own Commbi, which is a shoe company. I'm a founder of it that basically I created the dream shoes that I myself couldn't find. And I went and created them. I've never made shoes before. This is all just like if you told me 10 years ago, this is what I'd be doing now, I would have surprised myself. So I did a complete life pivot I'm 40 this year. And I basically went from a really successful career as a lifestyle fashion photographer, shooting for Fortune 100 brands to doing Commbi, which is now I make shoes.
I am obsessed and like I really like I feel like like I got stalked by your gorgeous shoes and I just was like it was winter time and I was like I don't need those yet. And I was on tour and I was like we'll just like it. And then it was like the seventh one I was like okay, I'll just dye them now so they're at home when I get home. And I DM'd you about a question about because okay, you guys, we're gonna get into our shoes in a second. I'm gonna get into our journey, but I just want to say the shoes. Why I was obsessed with them is like, oh, I could just take the insole out and change it. So because I'm someone who needs to have a lot of shoes. Like my mother, I was probably not a nice compliment, but she was like, you're like the woman from the Philippines who has a million shoes. And I was like, yeah, I do. I love shoes. I have no blank t-shirts, guys. I only have shoes and sweatshirts, so I was obsessed. And you yourself DM'd me back. And I was like, oh, another founder who reads her own DMs. So now I'm like, well, now I'm following. And now I'm going to stalk you a little bit. So
I'm all about I like love interacting with people. Like community building is like what I'm all about.
Yes.
And I created these shoes as much for myself as I did for others and to help people. And I was like So I really like to like talk, like I still, Chris handles all, my husband and co-founder, Chris handles all of the customer service emails. I handle all of the DMs,
Yes.
all of the social. So yeah, we're like in it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like we have an amazing customer service team too, but like I do read all my DMs. People are like, oh, it's you. And I'm like, yeah, I like, how will I know what to create if I don't talk to you? Before we go into why your shoes are so amazing, even more though, you're a successful lifestyle photographer. Like there was no need to change anything except for that you wanted amazing shoes for yourself. How how do you like, I know lots of our listeners are like, but how do you make a pivot like that? Because it's not like you're like, oh, I'm going to be a photographer and then I'm going to like, make a camera, something that you're familiar with. You're like, no, I'm going to make a shoe. And as someone who also makes products, like you don't know, thank goodness you don't know what you don't know when you get into it, because otherwise you wouldn't. But like, how did you make that pivot?
So I think, to start a little bit back, my husband and I met when we were 18 in college, and we have been working on creative endeavors together like since we met. And so, in some kind of entrepreneurial fashion, basically what started as creative services through photography. I mean, we've shot Taylor Swift for Keds, like all these brands. And really, I think alignment is a really important thing to me. And I always feel like I'm very attuned to when I feel like I'm not on the right path. And there started to become a point. I have three kids that are 8, 6, and 3. And there started to become a point where I was just feeling not as creatively invigorated by the things I was working on in advertising. I will always be a storyteller because it's just who I am. I love photography. However, it started to just feel like this isn't as fulfilling to me and my purpose and my calling at this stage in my life as I need it to be. So there was that, coupled with I was a dancer and I had foot issues, and being on set, I would be shooting people for 12 hours a day on my feet. I'm not a tennis shoe girly. I do not wear heels. I have like sort of some foot issues. So I had tried every shoe in the game. I had tried Danskos, Birkenstocks, the Vince Mules. Like if it was like stylish and, net-a-porter, like styles that I like, they had zero support. If it was like, orthotic-y, Vionic, all this kind of stuff, it was grandma looking.
Yeah.
And so it was like I had resorted to putting insoles into my mules and my clogs and my slides on set. And my husband was like, this looks so bad, Sarah. Cause like my little like insole would be flopping around. It's awful because I wear like open back shoes. We live in California. That's like my lifestyle. And so basically we set out, like this was like 3 years ago now, to sort of say, well, let's get a 3D printer. My husband taught himself AutoCAD and we started inventing essentially, like how could we allow people the opportunity to completely, like, first off, create a supportive shoe. So we worked with podiatrists to create a shoe that's, number one, fits the need that I needed, which was supportive, and then design it in styles that I myself wear, but then allow people to modulate it like based on the season or their preference. So for example, I hated how my Uggs, the shearling would go flat after a season, and I'd have to throw away this beautiful shoe that I was like, this feels so wasteful to me. What if I could just like switch out that element and then keep the whole shoe? Like it feels more sustainable. It feels more like practical. I'm a practical lady. And so that is how we came to basically file for our patent after we've did several thousands of iterations on like, how could we make this work where you can modulate just the footbed and allow people to be creative, allow people to be in the driver's seat of what they want, provide something that's more sustainable in a way. And so thus became like, well, okay, I guess we're inventing a new way to do shoes.
Yeah.
And
that's why I don't have any of the sheer, like I bought the shearling Birkenstocks. I was like, oh, those are so cute. This is like 4 years ago. I needed some house slippers in the summer, our house is tile, everyone. So if you walk around tile with bare feet, you just get ugly feet. So I was like, oh, I'll have these like shearling. No, within a summer, it's like rubbed down and it's ugly. And now I have this shoe that is perfectly fine. It has not been worn enough. And then also, get this. So I interviewed one of the founders of Gait Happens, Gait, Gait Happens, on this podcast. It hasn't released yet, but you've got to check it out. And I said, oh, my husband wears like Birkenstocks. This is the only shoe he wears. And she goes, I give it a B minus.
Same. And that I hate, I'm not here to diss.
Right. You're not dissing. I'll bring up their name.
Yes. Yes. But I am here to say for not for everybody. Like I found work is like hard. It's like, I didn't like that it took such a break-in period. So I was like, why don't I create a supportive shoe that has memory foam that doesn't have the break-in period of a Birkenstock? Like, why can't you try something different?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure people caught on. So you're 40, you have 3 kids under 10.
Yeah.
You're like a superhero.
No, hardly.
And you and your family made this transition together. Like there are so many questions I have there, which is like to switch financially your whole thing over and then to be present for children, but also like not burn yourself out. Can you tell us the process you went through?
Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm still going through it, to be totally honest with you. I feel like a pivot, the biggest thing that was the hardest for me is getting over my self-limiting beliefs in the beginning. Like that was step one for me. When I started to sort of say, no, like this feels insane that I want to do this, but like I want to do this. And my curiosity is pulling me. And when my curiosity really is piqued and I feel scared and terrified, I usually know that is the thing I need to go after. That's sort of my recipe for like, I know that's on my path of alignment. And I kept feeling that. And so I really had to do a lot of work to break down my self-limiting beliefs, number one, to even step into this space of like, I can do this, and so much so I had, this on my home screen of my iPhone, I had like a thing that said, what if you have what it takes? It's still on there actually. What if you have what it takes? Because I had so many moments of like, this is insane. No one's going to understand you, Sarah. Like, why would you do, like, people are going to be like, what are you doing? Like, and all those self-doubt things that commit imposter syndrome we all deal with when we pivot or we're even thinking about pivoting. And I just started to like reframe that for myself to be like, no, I am deeply curious about what are the edges of my ability? Like, what am I capable of? And like to find that out, I have to go to the edge of my fear and look over the edge of it. And entrepreneurship so much in this journey for me has so much been, as much as it's been an external one, it's more of an internal one for myself of like, can I do this? And do I have what it takes? And I do. Like, I think all people can do all things genuinely. And, it started there. And then, of course, my husband and I, as co-founders, had to really come together of like, okay, can we utilize our previous skill set, which we've done our 10,000 hours plus on mastering?
Yeah.
Is there a way to parlay that also to be a strength in this new world? And there is. Like, we just shot our Commbi campaign for all of the new material. Like, we utilize our skill sets that we have used in our previous We Are the Rhoads studio all the time. Like, all of our network of models and all of that is used in this new business, which is so cool. And I think like trusting that and knowing like, hey, I didn't know how to really make a product, but I learned, got on a plane, and you can learn anything. If you're curious enough and willing to be like moldable, I think anything is possible. And so that's kind of, we launched August last year and we've had
I had no idea. I had no idea. That's insane. Okay. So it's not even a year old yet.
No, we're going on our first year. And like, I mean, we've been working on this behind the scenes for like 3 years. So it feels a lot older to us, but it's also, we're a new company, a new business, and every day is learning. And as an entrepreneur, as you know, every day is learning. And for me, the meaning of life is to learn, to grow, and to expand. And so for me, this is checking all those boxes every single day. When I wake up, I learn new things every day. So do you know what I mean?
I do. Every day I'm like, okay. Like, well, and also what happens is like you unless you take time to reflect, you don't realize like the things you learned a year ago you're actually now an expert at and you're slaying, but there's just a new thing that you
Yes.
didn't know. And
Exactly.
with everything that goes on all the time, you're kind of like, okay, so how do I take what I believe in and exist in this area? Because this area has changed now, but I want to exist like this here. And so you know what? It's a lot. If they say like, if you want to learn about yourself, become an entrepreneur, because you really learn about yourself.
It's true. It's true. And I'm like deeply curious about like, okay, what are the depths of my ability and
Mhm.
like my capacity? And yeah, you learn it
Yeah.
because you're scared every day.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
that's for me what I'm like retraining my brain right now, the work I'm doing is to learn that this is what it is. This is normal. Problem
Mm.
solving problems is that is what it is to be a founder. That is what it is to be an entrepreneur. You grow out of a system, you expand into something else. Like, oh, we're having to expand warehouses right now because we grew out of this. It's like at first I was like, oh no, is something wrong? It's like, no, that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's figuring things out and like that's what entrepreneurship is creative problem solving, a lot of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, congrats on outgrowing your first warehouse, or maybe it's your second already. But I want to highlight like what we know as Commbi, like what we've seen is almost a year old, but that you guys have been working behind the scenes for 3 years. And I
Yeah.
think that that's the thing that like, no matter how many times I hear it, I have to share it because we are like, oh my God, look at the successful brand here. Look at what they're doing. And it's like, you didn't see the 3 to 4 years of sweat, tears, wonder, fear, lots of
Yes.
money invested. Like
Yes.
you actually are seeing like there is no such thing as an overnight success. Like we know this. You and I live, like you still live in LA, but I live in LA. We
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
no one is an overnight movie star. That was like a decade of auditions and like
Yeah.
little roles in the background and all these different things. And then they filmed this thing 2 years ago and they've just been waiting
Yeah.
for us to all see it. So, I think it's like we have to be reminded of that, because if you have an idea that you are going for and you're feeling frustrated because it's been a year, it's been 3 to 4 years before the rest of us, like before. And then also, like, you just heard me say it like took like 7 times for me to go, yeah, I think, like the world is like taking its time to making decisions on what it wants to do with your product. And so it's not personal. It's just like, that's how long things take.
Yeah. And I would say like I would encourage anybody who's like in that phase of like building behind the scenes. I feel like it's truly one of the hardest phases because no one can see
Mhm.
what you're doing. And you have to have this like self-determined belief in yourself and what you're doing.
Mhm.
And it's really hard to do that work, but like stick with it, like stick
Mhm.
it out because I feel like really good things are always on the other side of that, like that curiosity and that sort of determination. But it's really hard to do that space that's the building phase where no one can see what you're doing. And you're just like, I'm creating this thing. I hope people will like it. I hope people will like be Bennett, like it will help their life. And then when you get to launch and you see like it does, and you hear from customers being like, oh my gosh, I love this. I love your shoes. They're like exactly what I want. Like it's like, oh, I didn't just create the shoes for me. I created them for,
Yeah.
other people too.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, like, just to give you a compliment to your face, and like, because you need it, another one, I'm sure. As a business, I'm always like, give me all the compliments on my things. You're like, I am almost a size 10 foot. And so, like, slides were never awesome because my heels would somehow hit the ground. No one wants you know what I mean? And then I have a wide toe box, but a narrow heel. And it's just, always been an issue. So I was a tennis shoe girly because like, that's it. That's the only shoes that would stay on my feet and keep
yeah,
and so, but I am like, oh, these shoes, I feel like, I feel luxurious in. I feel like they're, these are not just like when I put my Birkenstocks on, yes, I have some pairs. Like,
of course.
I'm like, okay, this is a laid back, this is,
I'm
this,
like a granola girly.
yeah,
Yeah. Like,
I
and that's
am like,
cool too.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
can, I,
but
I can vibe on that.
yeah,
But like,
but
I wanted to offer something that was like,
But
right?
I don't want to be a granola girly every day. Like I want to be a girl. Like I am a girly girl. People like I love, like I just did a photo shoot that I haven't put some of the pictures up yet, but like It's obsessed. I'm obsessed. We're rebranding the podcast, and I got this
Oh,
green, emerald green, like Wizard of Oz green fur coat.
that
And
is like your color, girl.
yes, it's
I can
so good. It's so good. And I'm like, and I'm like this. And then I put it with, we did a whole fashion shoot at the Plaza Hotel because they have all the light bulbs. And I'm just like upset. Oh, it was amazing. I'll have to show you when we're done. It was fucking phenomenal. Anyways, but like I was like, I want a casual shoe that makes me feel girly. So like, congratulations, you nailed it. And I can't wait to see what comes out. Also, since you live in LA, do you know Ripley? Because the two of you should be best friends if you're not Ripley Rader. Do you know her? Okay, your shoes. Here's my vision. Now, and no one asked.
I love it. I'm asking.
I think you and Ripley should do a collab together. Your shoes with her clothes, insane, and you're both photographers. You guys,
Ripley is her brand.
Ripley Rader, yeah, the perfect pant. Also,
Hey,
yes,
you gotta introduce us.
I'm gonna introduce you guys because in my perfect world, like you guys, like her lines with your shoes, like fabulous. And then because you're both photographers and you're both in LA, like this is just a magical match. I'm just gonna make it happen.
Thanks,
I met her through the podcast. They approached me and I was like, is this the woman whose pants keep following me around my Instagram? Yeah, I want to interview her. And and now I have a bunch of her clothes and I wear them with your shoes and I love it. So, okay, I want to go like the things. What are the things you do when you're like feeling it? Because I think the thing that makes an entrepreneur move faster, because we all are going to feel the obstacles. We are problem solving every day. But like the quicker you get to like overcoming the fear of failure and noticing your ish, like the quicker you can move through it. Like, how do you move through that fear or the obstacles? Like, what are the tools you use? Do you have a mantra? Do you have music? Like, what do you do?
Man, I feel like there's a couple things. It's not like a formal mantra, but something I say every single day is everything is working out for my better good, like a greater good. Everything is working out for us. Like Chris and I this morning, literally, like he made me a coffee. And despite like there's a lot going on in the world right now, tariffs impact our business.
Yep.
Like we could sit there and like sort of focus on that, but we just said to each other, like, everything's working out for us. Like everything is working out for us. And it's not sort of BS. Like I really genuinely believe that when you look at my life, when I look at like now that I have some wisdom of life, I'm like, oh, like everything is genuinely working out for us. And I also believe that everything leads to everything. As silly as that sounds, I had this other female founder that I love and I'll always like, Sheena of Kosas. She's a badass and she has been kind enough. Like I shot her very first campaign when she had one lipstick like years and years ago. And she's helped me on my journey as a founder of product. And she is the one who told me, she's like, everything leads to everything. And just trusting that has been a really powerful mantra for me, just in terms of like knowing that even if there's a setback, guess what? Everything leads to everything. Like, or this relationship, it might feel like just a dead end call. Guess what? Like those things down the road lead to other things. They really do. And so like, I feel like part of being an entrepreneur is being someone who has an appetite for adventure, because like the way that I sort of akin it to is like you're in the woods with a machete, like a hatchet going through the woods. There's no trail. There's no trailheads. There are no maps. And you are going through the woods with a machete, trying to forge a path up this mountain. And you see these like beautiful people or rivers along the way that are like, oh, good water. And then there's like a little light over there. And that little light ends up being a person that's like, you know what, like a Sheena or these like someone that's like, hey, you should meet Ripley. Like, who knows what that leads to, whatever it is. And they're like, you know what? Hey, you should go over that way and talk to this person. You start going on that path with your machete. And then before you know it, you have a manufacturing partner that's fantastic. And you have a great like product that you're like working on making better. And anyway, I feel like that for me, keeping that mentality of being an adventurer has been like really paramount to trusting the process, even when you have setbacks, even when you're in the woods with your machete and you don't see the way forward.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what? I have to trust that it's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
That is,
it is so true. It is so true. Like as you were saying, like, I was just like thinking like all the different things that happened. So before we hit record, I live in Las Vegas, right? We were talking
Yep.
about
Yep.
the reason we own a home is because the world shut down.
Yeah.
Not because like we like planned
Yeah.
and put it out to, oh, we have a life plan together. We're going to do this. You guys, Brad and I would have lived in that 500 square foot apartment forever. We would have bought a vacation home and still live in that apartment if we could have kept traveling because you don't realize how small it is when you're not there. So like, but we're here in this beautiful, like the house of my dreams, because even when things happen outside your control, everything is working out for you. It
Yeah.
really is, if you believe it. If you're not believing that, like you don't see the opportunities and you don't see the connections and the introductions as a light of like, oh, look over here. You're seeing it as like another thing that is like keeping you, or just another busy thing. You don't see you know, like
Yes.
I really do think that like when you believe that things will work out, you'll actually see the opportunities as evidence of that.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's exactly what you're pointing to. It's like, I feel like in our busy culture of like everything's about efficiency and like, oh, our tasks list, I never want to turn people into tasks, like ever.
Mm.
And so for me, it's like, if we can keep the spirit of like, this is all about like life is about how we can grow from each other and how we can learn from each other. Like I just try to keep that spirit about every interaction, knowing I can learn something from everybody. And yeah, I love what you're saying, like not turning things, all these things into to-do lists, turning them
Mhm.
into opportunities in your mind.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's really powerful.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
helped me. But yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a business owner, you're you. You are so many things. How do you prioritize you in all of this? Because it can be so easy. Like we love our people. We don't want them to be to-do lists. It's like almost like I work with a lot of Pilates instructors and they like love their clients so much that they don't take care of the things that continue to make them light up anymore. And it bends on the burnout road, right? So like how do you make sure that you're still you in all of this?
yeah, that's a really good question. Like burnout is a very real, thing, as you know. We're always like flying real close to the sun there on burnout. If I'm being honest, when you're building a business,
Mhm.
you're building a company, it's especially through like the holiday season, like Chris and I were like, okay, we gotta step back a little bit from this. It's all like just and I feel like for me, how do I stay me? I protect my autonomy pretty fiercely. Like I just feel like it's just who I am. I love to read. So I like am in this amazing book club that I like make time for. Like it's something totally extracurricular, but these women inspire me. They're incredible. I love hearing other people's perspectives. I am all about nature and hiking. Like I go out and I be in nature like 3 days a week. Like those are the things that for me keep me from burnout is like doing a few things every week that I love, that are
Mm.
outside of like what makes me money, what can I be doing to better my business? It's being in touch with the things that make Sarah, me, feel alive. And then knowing like that'll make me a better mom, a better founder, a better creative, all those things that I need to be. So
Mm.
yeah.
I thank you for sharing that. I think I love that you're in a book club that you make time for. Like I think it's so like we have a lot of people like, how do you make friends as an adult? I'm like, you have to just go do things and hope. And like if you don't like it, go do something else. Like it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is hard. Like it's hard to there's always a reason. I mean, I just wanted you to all replay that. Remember, she is a founder of a new company. She works with her husband and she has 3 kids under 10 and she has things she does for herself every week. Like I love that so much. I really, I really, really do. Okay, what are you most excited about right now?
I am so excited about my new line that is coming out in 3 weeks. Oh my gosh. I'm going to give you like a little sneak peek. I know.
Stop right now. I need them already. Stop right now. I need them already.
So like again, part of like listening to customers and like it's part of us handling customer services. Like I want to know like what do people want to see more of?
Bright
What
colors. I want hot pink. I
I
want
don't
that
know
red.
that yet, but I'm listening. So people wanted real Napa levers. My first was vegan. Now I'll still offer a vegan option for those ladies who want that or men who want that. But I also have some amazing, like supple
Oh my
leather
God.
coming out with all like, it's like lambskin leathers that are just so chic and look so good.
You guys, if you're not already watching the Beit Pod on YouTube, you need to now. And also by the time this is out, they're out. So go get them.
And then I have some just cool styles that are all adjustable. So I have like back straps and like some things that like people wanted for walking around Europe, things like that. Like there's back straps, adjustable sort of plays. I'm just so excited about this line. I also improved the product immensely. I got on a plane to Asia. When I started to hear a couple things, like I had enough time with my own product to be like, I want to take the weight out of the shoes a little bit. And so I worked with my engineering team. People told me, you can't do it, blah, 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 for these reasons. I sat there and I like didn't book a return flight until this was solved. And basically we came up with a unique compound for our shoes that allows the interchangeability to all work. And it just a like I'm just super excited about this line. I feel really proud of it. It's designed with really nice textiles and I have a really good supplier I'm really excited about. So anyway, all of it, the designs are pretty fire and I'm excited. So that's what I'm excited about.
I like, she held up a red. I was like, because I love an accent.
Red
I love
softies. Yes. Get your softies. I'm about to pre-release these because I've had so many people asking.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get that link before we Brad is rolling his eyes while he's listening to this. I'm sure when he listens later, he's asleep right now, but he'll listen to this on a replay when we prep. And I know the exact points where he's just going, oh my God, my wife.
I gotta get him in some Commbies. I'll get him in some Commbies.
We'll do it. Yes. And then we'll do the couple photo for you. We'll do whatever you want.
Okay, I love it. We'll make it happen.
And then when we come to LA, we're going to have to come see you. Cause of course we'll have to have dinner. Cause it's not all the time that you meet couples who work together and are cool. And they work together well. Leslie,
I have so many questions for you about that. So yes, a dinner is in our future.
Yes. Oh, I mean, we've been working together. So he flirted with me by building me a website. You guys, we were dating, and he was like, "You need a new website," and I like. As a Pilates instructor, and I thought I was one of the first Pilates instructors who had like their own website. Like I got out of Pilates training and I had a website ready to go. And like, no, people have been teaching 10 years to have a website. So I thought I was slaying. And then I met him. I'd been teaching for like 7 years. He's like, so you have to have this is old. You need a new website. And I'm like, why? It's working just fine. So he built me a new one. And then as I was building my companies, which, bad thing, guys, don't build the same 3 things at the same time, because if they work out, you have 3 and it's a lot. So anyways, he started like working with me, doing things behind the scenes. And finally I was just like, can you just work with me all the time? And so he's been full-time since 2019, which has been really, really cool and really fun. And also allowed me to like not be the CEO of my company. Cause I'm not I don't know about you. I'm not a CEO.
I'm a co-CEO, but Chris does ops, tech, all of the things that like are the behind the scenes. I'm community building, creative, marketing.
Yeah.
How about your dynamic? We can probably have a whole podcast about working as a team with your significant.
I know. We'll have to have you back, and we'll have to like do the 4 of us can talk.
All of us.
Yes, because it's like you have to. Well, it's also just recognizing your strengths. Like this is what I'm really good at. I'm really good at the community. I'm really good at the vision. I'm really good at like seeing the big picture and like how like it's gonna relate down the thing. And a meeting on how this system is gonna work is like I want to know, but I don't want to be in the
100%, girl. We're the same. It's like the systems people. I'm like, thank God for them.
Yes.
Though. Like, thank God, because truly it's not my wheelhouse, you know?
Oh, we make Pilates flashcards, and on our winter tour, we were like near the place at the warehouse that prints our flashcards and fulfills everything. It's a fulfillment house. And so Brad's like, we're going to go see how this is made. And I was like, I don't really actually, I'm not lit up by this. Like, but like, he's
find your strengths.
Yes.
And
he is like looking at everything. He's like, look at this. And it goes in here first and they go this first. And I was just like, this is, I don't know how someone envisioned this actually. Like the guy who envisioned the systems that prints flashcards and boxes them. The whole thing. I was like, that person's amazing.
Thank God for that guy.
Yeah. Thank goodness, because I don't have to be the person who does it. Anyways, okay, I could talk to you forever, but we're going to take a brief break and then find out people can find you, follow you, and get your amazing shoes. All right, Sarah, Where do you hang out? What socials are we sharing? Where can they pre-order these amazing shoes or just order them because they'll be out by now?
Oh, I love it. Okay, so Commbi, COMMBI.co. And then you can get on our mailing list. That'll be how you find out new hot pre-releases coming at you. And then our Instagram handle is at Commbi_official. So yeah, that's us.
Wonderful. You've given so many great tips, but I can't get enough of you. So bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted steps our listeners can take to be it till they see it. What do you have for us?
I think knowing deep in your soul that everything's working out for you and knowing that anyone can do anything and trusting yourself and believing in yourself. That's the biggest thing that I would say.
I love those. I think you've said a few things that'll be on Post-its in my office for a little bit and I'll just think of you. Oh my gosh, Sarah, thank you for being you. Thank you for creating Commbi Shoes, and also for being, I think people listening, we all need inspirations, people we can look at and go, okay, she did it. And so I can we just need these reminders. So thank you for doing that. And it's really cool that your kids get to see you and your husband create something amazing as well together. So just hats off to you. And I'll be ordering more shoes. So just know I'm stalking you.
I gotta hook you up and your listeners up with a little discount code so we can talk about that.
Yeah,
after.
we'll do that, you guys. We'll make sure we send it out with this episode. Thank you. Thank you for being you. All right, loves. How are you going to use these tips in your life? We want to know. Tag Commbi Official, tag the Beit Pod, share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. And until next time, be it till you see it. That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.